They say if you keep walking, the doors will open, but you'll never find the exit. I stepped off the elevator, expecting the familiar hum of machinery. Instead, an oppressive silence swallowed me whole. The corridor stretched before me, walls lined with peeling wallpaper patterned like dead vines. Overhead lights flickered in rhythm, as if breathing, and cast trembling shadows that danced at the edge of my vision. My footsteps echoed, tile after tile. I moved deeper into the hallway, each footfall louder than the last, though no one was there to hear. A door stood on my right, its paint chipped away to reveal splinters. The brass handle was cold when I touched it. I pulled, expecting resistance, but it swung open on creaking hinges. Inside was nothing but darkness. I peered in, and for a heartbeat, I was certain I heard something whisper, "Come in." I jerked back. The whisper died. The only sound was my own ragged breathing. The door remained open, begging. Something tugged at me, a curiosity I couldn't quash. I stepped inside. The air was thicker here, damp and sour. Past the threshold, the corridor continued, exactly like the one I'd left, and behind me, the door shut, plunging the space into pitch black. I froze. "Hello?" I called. My voice sounded small. Silence. I fumbled for my phone. No signal. Screen dead. Panic clamped around my chest. When I looked up again, a dim, bluish light glowed at the far end. I moved toward it, every nerve screaming to run back, but my feet carried me forward. Footsteps. Mine, or maybe not. Behind me, soft shuffles met my own. A second heartbeat. A breath on the back of my neck.
"Who's there?"
I spun, expecting the corridor empty. Instead, a shape pressed against the far wall, a pale face with hollow eyes. It stayed motionless, but its mouth moved, silent lips forming words I couldn't hear. I stumbled backward. The figure dissolved into the darkness. The lights overhead surged, then cut out entirely, leaving me in a void. When power returned, the corridor had changed. Doors I'd passed before were gone. In their place, narrow arches leading to rooms I couldn't see into. The walls felt closer now, closing in. I tried the next door. It was locked. Frantically, I rattled the knob. Then, a soft click. The door opened on its own. I recoiled, but curiosity pushed me inside again. This room was small, furnished like an old waiting area. 2 faded armchairs, a cracked coffee table, and on the wall, a single painting of a woman whose eyes followed me. A low murmur drifted from somewhere beneath the floorboards. Kneeling, I pressed my ear to the floor. I heard voices, fragments of conversations long past. "No! Can't go back! They're waiting. He's alone." My blood ran cold. I hammered on the ceiling, screaming until my throat bled. At once, the murmuring stopped, and the painting's eyes seemed to darken. The chairs groaned as though something heavy sat in them. I backed out and the door slammed shut. My hand flew to my chest, where my heart thundered beneath my ribs. The corridor beyond breathed a sigh, and the murmur resumed. Only now it came from the walls themselves. "You shouldn't have listened." I ran. The corridor stretched impossibly long. Doors lined both sides, some ajar, some sealed. Each one pulsed softly like a heartbeat, and behind each whispers called my name. "Daniel, don't stop. Find the end." I didn't know my name, but the voice knew. Ahead, the bluish glow flickered again. An exit, maybe. Hope surged, and I lunged forward. As I neared, the floor fell away. It dropped into a black pit so deep I couldn't see the bottom. I skidded to a halt. Across the chasm, on the far edge, a final set of doors stood, carved with twisted vines and crowned by a single word: exit. My pulse rattled my ears. I searched for a bridge, nothing but void. Then behind me, the corridor creaked closed. The walls converged, pushing me forward, inch by agonizing inch, until I teetered at the brink. I glanced down, dizzy. The voices roared simultaneously. "Step! Leave! Return!" My foot slipped. I closed my eyes, bracing for the fall, but instead of emptiness, my toes found cold tile. I opened my eyes. I stood before the exit doors, the pit gone. Relief buckled my knees. I reached for the handle. It was warm, almost alive. I twisted it, and the doors swung open into my own apartment hallway, bathed in warm yellow light. The front door at the end stood ajar. I swore I'd locked it before leaving. Inside, everything was silent. Too silent. Behind me, the door clicked shut. And I haven't found the exit since.